green, Resolute in the red. Andy Lopez in goal for Ohio Horde to our right. He has been stellar in their first 2 wins. Jack Allen for Resolute is in goal to our left. It'll be Ohio Horde with the first possession. And if you are new to the Ohio Box Lacrosse Series, we play 4 10-minute running clock periods, and it moves fast. First shot of the game will be saved by Allen. We'll get a push here, and Ohio Horde will maintain possession here of the opening possession of the game.
Yeah, the Horde, a very dodge-heavy offense. You can see right now Shaw, their leading goal scorer, positioned behind the cage, known for getting a lot of dive looks.
And we're going to get a reset here on the save made by Allen, who's right now kind of afraid to move.
That would be 2. Doesn't cross the line, though.
And now we come back the other direction. Ethan Brooks, who's had a good first couple of weeks. He had 3 goals last night, number 1 in red.
Got a lot of those off of some sweeps, a lot of those off of outside shooting.
Boy, Jack Jasinski took 2 shots like a pinball, trying to dodge down the center alley, and ends up turning it over.
Yeah, if you don't have enough space when you're going to dodge right down the middle, those defensive players will punish you quickly, because that's the last spot they want an offensive player to be.
Now it'll be coming down the alley, having the ball jarred free. Ball is picked up. Now 8:20 to play here in the opening quarter of action. This is David St. Clair, works it across to Evan Nickel. Nickel with a crossover, pivots back. Now feeds it to the far side, shot and a score. Spencer Vandenberg will open up the scoring for Resolute with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. He had a hat trick in last night's game, and Resolute leads 1-0.
Vandenberg was definitely offensive firepower for the Resolute last game. No doubt picking that up today. Was on my watch list of players to keep in mind when you're looking at this Resolute team. He's been scoring from inside, he's been scoring from outside. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net.
Still trying to pick up the ground ball from the face-off. That'll be Resolute in possession. Now Jasinski again, tries low and creeps it on the inside of the post, getting past Lopez.
Great placement there. Jasinski just putting it near pipe. I think sometimes those keepers don't know how close they are with their shin guards relative to the pipe, and so sometimes you can just kind of fire it in there and jam it in there and get a good look. Definitely not the start I'm sure the Horde were expecting. Resolute coming out strong here with some good finishes, both on the same side. So kind of interesting there. I wonder if Lopez might have a weakness folks are looking to expose. Looks like no one wants the ball right now, but now finally being picked up by Resolute.
And with a 2-0 early lead in this one.
Definitely been looking for Jasinski to come alive. He's a very, very good lacrosse player in this series so far. He started slow, and maybe this is his game where he really starts to take control.
Cade Galko working back the other direction now.
Galko, the workhorse of the Horde. He's been up and down in transition. Oftentimes you'll find him with the ball hoofing it across the half of the field, and sometimes getting some offensive looks as a result.
Now the ball will come out near midfield. Going to have to get rid of it in a hurry. Galko will to beat the shot clock, but a hopeless shot goes wide, and now St. Clair with a restart here for Resolute.
Quite the pickup coming right out of the box. Good vision from him, and the refs say, hey, quick start, let's play lacrosse.
Brooks will give it up now. Vandenberg works along the wall. Galko gives him a couple of shots. He sheds him off, fires. That one will be saved by Lopez.
Boy, coming loose from Lopez's stick. Cocked it back a little too far there. But Vandenberg again looking to score. Very good on his feet, has great balance, good through running in contact.
Let's see if Ohio Horde can get on the board here. Stumbling was Aiden Evans, but
tabletop maneuver there from the Horde.
And he'll get rid of the shot as he gets bowled over once and twice. Took a shot from Sam Camacho as he let go of the shot. Now in transition for Resolute, it'll be Hannah.
Yeah, some retaliatory action there. No doubt when a pick gets set on your teammate, they get blown up and end up on the ground. You're going to want to make that player who set those picks pay. Resolute does just that. See, off ball, the physicality level already the highest we've seen today. I think the Horde try and rope you into that game, and they do it pretty well.
Nickel, shot will go wide, out of bounds. And Ohio Horde trailing 2-0 will have it. Long outlet, went right past Barkheimer, will go down into the corner. He and Cecil will battle for it. Now a second Resolute player will come in.
Not sure why number 12, Levin, didn't just grab that and settle it. Horde needs something a little bit slower there than a cross-field transition pass for a 1 to goal.
And we're going to get a stoppage and a penalty here. Will be our first of the game. And it'll go against Ohio Horde. Resolute is going to have its first man up.
It'll be a holding penalty, judging by the ref's motion there for 2 minutes. I think that was on, was that Barkheimer? Can't see the number.
Nope. There. So it will be Rezo with a man-up opportunity. Closing it on 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. They've got the 2-0 advantage.
Great way of drawing the defense right here. This definitely is more traditional man up.
David St. Clair's shot was saved. And looks like we're going to get a penalty here against Resolute.
Absolutely, that's a hold if ever I've seen one in the game of lacrosse.
But we play on for the moment. Racing into the offensive end, Zach Blackwell shoots and scores. He had Jasinski draped all over him, and Blackwell scored nonetheless.
That is a muscle and hustle play right there. You can see he's hyping up his teammates, being quite vocal about the goal he scored, and he should be. As you said, Todd, draped all over him was Jasinski, but he's able to find a way to score with the stick still in his right hand. A quick and strong finish. He's definitely hyped, jogging back to the bench for that one.
So because Ohio Horde scored, they wave off the penalty against Resolute, who actually still will be a man up now and leading by a score of 2-1.
Sometimes in box lacrosse, when you see an opening, even if you're a man down, you just got to go for it. Pays off right there for the Horde.
Well, Jordan will win the face-off for Resolute. 2:20 to play first quarter of a 1-goal game. Evan Nickel. Now Jasinski will work it to the far side. That shot by Markwood. Did it bounce in? It did.
It did.
And so they'll get the man-up goal. And that was Ethan Markwood with his first goal of the series.
Yeah, a lot of times when you have a man up, all you have to do is get that defense to rotate once just because of how close you are to the goal. And in that instance, Resolute demonstrating that with 3 easy passes, defense is out of position for a quick shot.
Boy, and a great face-off win by Jordan. Feeds it out in front to Brooks. Good save made by Lopez, and an even craftier play to pick up that ground ball by Quincy Kramer.
Kramer there tiptoeing, keeping that stick high. Something you don't see often because that's easy for a check, but Resolute not able to make a play on it, so he gets the clear.
Down to 1:20 to play here, first quarter.
Another slow opening, just like we had in that first game.
Much lower scoring. Now working it quickly back the other way. Jewel Walker, he'll fire, saved by Lopez. Ball was nearly picked up by Simeone. Still battling behind a cage. Tommy Janowitz for Resolute comes up with it, fires it behind his back, and a turnover as Ohio Horde with under a minute in the first will now have it. Galco will take it into the offensive end. He takes a check to the head. Arm comes up with the referee. Delayed penalty here against Resolute.
Yeah, that wrap check way too high. That'll be a slash call for sure.
Steal there by Puckett, which will stop play with 40 seconds and counting here in this first quarter. And at least for a couple of moments, Ohio Horde will be a man up here. Be interesting to see how much time will be left by the time they get the restart here. They're trying to get it going quickly.
Yeah, this was the most opportune time to commit a penalty for Resolute. We are not on stop clock at this point in the game, so we have a game clock that is running out as they aim to get set up.
So they'll restart with 13 seconds. Penalty will carry over to the second quarter if necessary. So a quick opportunity here for Ohio Horde. Feed across and a beauty, and a good save made there. And that'll expire our first quarter of action. Good quick start here by Resolute. 3 different goal scorers in Vandenberg, Jasinski, and Markwood. And it is a 3-1 advantage in favor of Resolute after 1 quarter. Second quarter coming up, and Resolute with a 3-1 advantage at the end of one. A little different first quarter than we've seen so far in this series.
Yeah, a lot of times when it's a low-scoring game, the keepers will still have taken quite a few shots, but I don't think that's been the case in this first quarter. It's been a lot of transitions, been a lot of good looks, but there haven't been many shots on cage. I think if we want to see a higher quality game, we want to see more goals on the board, we're going to need to see more settled opportunities. We're going to need to see these teams really clean up where they're taking their looks.
Ohio Horde in the green with the opening face-off win here in our second quarter. They are the team right now that is 2-0 with the win by overpower in overtime earlier tonight. They have gotten to 2-1. A Resolute win here tonight would certainly muck things up going into the final week of play next week. 2 games, to be determined matchups next Tuesday, championship game next Wednesday night.
Yeah, with a win here from Resolute, we'd be looking at a 3-way tie for first, I believe. And that could really complicate how the seeding works. We're not sure if it's goal differential.
Oh, and a rebound win by overpower, and the goal by Dominic Shaw, who had 2 in last night's game. And that'll cut it down to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, only a matter of time until Shaw comes alive in these games. He's been an offensive player, has been very consistent for the Horde. So seeing him on the board, not a surprise for the Horde. Closing the gap now, 3-2.
Resolute with a face-off win. Will Jordan this time, trying to get the feed in front to a wide open Tommy Janowitz, but they couldn't get connected. Janowitz able to save it down in the corner. Now will fire from out on top. Rebound, Karam's out in front, and Ohio Horde will come away with it. Stumbling down was Nate Clark, but the ball remained in the circle, and so they're able to maintain the possession and work it back the other way. It'll be Zach Blackwell.
Lopez came out way far on the crease on that one. I think he just wanted to hit somebody, but as a goalie, you don't get the chance to do that often, so you can understand why you might be starving for that opportunity. Yeah,
typically you're the one having guys run right at you, and a diving play here, and that's going to be a goal. J.P. Mercer, he had one last night when he dove in from behind. This one he dives in front.
Yeah, safe to say that no matter where he's located on the field, he'll be flying into the crease in one way or another. So good work from him. Seems like just increasing that angle, making it tough for the keeper to read what you're going to do is what JP is about.
So that will tie the game for the first time tonight after Resolute scored the first 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game. And another face-off win this time for Logan Spaeth. 7:35 to play. Again, right out in front, wide open, Zach Gleason. And 3 straight goals to start the second quarter will give Ohio Horde the lead.
A beautiful look there. Gleason coming out of the box knows, I'm not going to get set up in formation. I'm going to push and take up as much room as I can on this cut, and eventually I'll be seen. When he does that, he gets in a 1-on-0 only the keeper to beat, and that's an easy way to score.
Now it's Will Jordan with a face-off win. They've got a little opportunity. Jordan tried to take it himself, and his bounce shot goes wide and out of bounds. And so Ohio Horde will have it. 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
Those face-off sticks, not the most reliable when it comes to shooting or passing, but the defense doing a good job of waiting it out, forcing him to make a decision he might not wanted to make, which was a shot not as close to the cage as can guarantee a goal with a face-off stick.
Barkheimer loses the defender, works it back out on top. That shot saved. Dominic Shaw on the shot, and the save made by Allen. And we had whistles and a stop behind the play. Do we have a penalty here? Looks like we do. I think Resolute's going a man up here. Or I beg your pardon, Ohio Horde's going a man up.
Yeah, what the call was, not too certain, but it'll be interesting to see how the Horde deals with a man-up opportunity. Again, not a team that's gotten a lot of goals off of pure ball movement. Of course, I say that, and Gleason had a fantastic cut for their last goal.
Just happy to see Gleason out here. He did return yesterday after taking a shot towards the rib cage area. His shot here is no good, and a save here by Resolute, but he went down on a heap, did return to the game, but sometimes that next day doesn't feel so great, but he's back out here playing again tonight.
Yeah, the fact that these players are going night-to-night games in a sport as physical as this is definitely a testament to their abilities and their strength. So nice to see him not getting roped up in any form of injury, especially off-season kind of summer fun activities here with the Ohio Box Lacrosse Series.
Shot clock winding down. Jasinski just flips one on goal. Still a man up here, Ohio Horde, as Dominic Shaw will carry it into the offensive end. And now let's see, Jonathan, how they set up here offensively as this man-up opportunity is winding down.
Yeah, this open set is going to give them the most opportunity from a good outside look. You'll see as the players rotate the ball, they'll want to step in, they'll want to try and draw someone and then move it.
That shot blocked from Skylar Wolland, and Resolute with a ground ball, and now they can pretty much expire the man up here as Humphreys will carry it into the offensive end. Now he will get off as he hands it off to St. Clair.
Humphreys with a great play there, soaks the shot and gets the ground ball. He's an all-in-one player there, keeper and defender on that play.
Might have a delayed call here against Ohio Horde as well. Our official on the far side with his arm in the air. That shot by Ethan Brooks will be saved, and now they'll stop play with 4:25 and counting here in this second quarter of action. And so now we're going to see probably 4-on-4 for a very short period of time, and then a man-up advantage for Resolute.
Trying to see what the call was on that one as well.
So they're going to release on the whistle. So basically it'll be a man advantage here now for Resolute. Their first of the night. Under 4 minutes to play now here in the first half. Mark Wood trying to scoop it up after he didn't make the clean catch. It sticked into the offensive end of the Horde by Shaw. And now Resolute will have it. Didn't see if they reset the shot clock or not. Sounds like it's winding down. Jasinski just fires one across that hits the back of the leg of our referee, and it is going to be a violation. So first man-up opportunity, not very good for Resolute.
No, you can see the vision there. They were trying to set a guy to set picks on those top two corners and get a shot from there, but Jasinski, that pass nearly the speed of a shot. You can tell he was just trying to get a quick look as time wore on.
So Ohio Horde and I believe Dominic Shaw standing out here. He is just letting time run down.
See, they're calling for the ISO there.
Shaw will bounce one towards the goal. And now it'll be Resolute with another opportunity here. A man up, 2:48 and counting here in our second quarter. And I think we've gotten a timeout used here by Resolute. So with the little bit of time that they still have remaining in this man-up advantage, they want to see if they can put together something and get themselves a good look with 2:45 to play in the half.
Yeah, and judging by that first attempt, it won't take much for it to look a little bit better.
Well, a great first game earlier tonight between the Stanley Steamers and Overpower. A game that in the first half we just alternated goals. It was 3-3 at the break. The first 3 goals were scored by the Steamers in the first 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter. But from that point on, the Steamers went cold. Overpower managed to come back, tie the game at 6. Then with 50 seconds to go, took the lead before the Steamers finally had a 16-minute scoring drought end with a goal to tie it. But then in the overtime session, Will Musgrove's second goal of the game gave them an 8-7 overtime win. And really, Overpower stole that game away from the Steamers, who looked like middle of the third quarter they were going to have the win.
Absolutely. At that point in time, you were saying, hey, this one is going to the Steamers. They got the best rhythm, but they kind of went cold offensively, like you said, and that proved difficult in the end. Both
goalkeepers in that game, Josh Wade, Andrew Laxton, were outstanding, making a number of terrific saves. And Resolute's going to get this goal on the man-up situation. 2:23 to play, and Resolute has tied the game at 4. And that goal will go to Evan Nickel.
Yeah, Nickel was an outside shooter for Resolute in that first game. Looking to pick that back up in this game as well. Time and room, good placement, shooting across the body of Lopez as he moved. Great patience from Resolute, which we haven't seen yet in this game so far.
Face-off still free. They battle for it in front of the Ohio Horde bench. Aiden Evans just gets pinballed around. Finally able to clear himself some space and hands it off to Barkheimer. 1:40 left, second quarter, tie game.
Sometimes you wonder in those moments how they're able to hold on to the ball.
That shot goes high. Whistles off the board. Shot clock down to the near end, and Zach Blackwell whistles one low to the right of the keeper, Allen, for the goal.
Yeah, Blackwell there showing us that sometimes it's all about placement. Keeper there didn't move too much, but bottom left corner is quite the place to put it off a little bounce. So fantastic late shot clock antics from the Horde, keeping them up in this game. It's stuff like that, as this game wears on, is going to tip the balance and give them the win.
Oh, great check from behind, and then Jordan gets plowed. And the ground ball is still free, and the Horde will come out of there with it. Wow, Skylar Wullen will have it here for Ohio Horde. And Will Jordan checking his faculties over there on the Resolute bench. And now Ohio Horde is going to use its first half timeout with 41 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Horde's not afraid to be physical there. That's one that'll have him wincing anytime he gets a face-off from here on out. Just a reminder, hey, don't run down the middle of the field. Maybe pull it out and wait. Definitely made me wince as well.
It's been physical. I don't know if it's been as physical as last night, because we had some big hits all over the field in last night's game, and a couple of times it got a little chippy.
Absolutely.
But we haven't seen the chippiness here tonight so far.
Last night it was really the off-ball stuff in settled offense. The physicality and transition is something that's just part of the game, but definitely the off-ball stuff, it's a choice. Two players bumping elbows, hitting each other's sticks. That's something that's very elective, extracurricular, you might even say, compared to this game where obviously a hit like that is someone who's trying to stop transition.
They're playing with 4, Dom. They're playing with 4.
Anthony Kelly, who is coaching Resolute tonight, and the all-time face-off leader in the history of professional lacrosse, physical man in his own right, was trying to defend his own player, his own face-off man, who got decked on that last play. He came all the way out onto the field to challenge the referees on that last no call. Head save there by Jake Allen. Remember, this is a man-up opportunity right now. I beg your pardon, we are 5 on 5, my mistake. 14 seconds to go.
It actually looked like Resolute sent someone down for a fast break.
So I looked down, there was only 4 people.
Yeah, a little bit confusing, but some strategy play there from them.
5 seconds to go. Horde player lost his helmet. That was Eli Harless. And a save will be made by Allen, and a disjointed, chaotic end to the first half of play. And no surprise at all. 1-goal game, 5-4 right now in favor of Ohio Horde.
Yeah, you talked about the physicality at the face-off point. Maybe we'll see Kelly suit up himself. Who knows?
I think he's done.
Yeah, he still has the love of the game, though. You never know. But yeah, it's been back and forth. There's been some wild exchanges here. can see the strategy starting to be injected in this game too. Resolute sending someone down for a bit of a cherry pick opportunity, trying to force the Horde to shoot early. It's really anyone's game. We have a 1-goal game, another fantastic setup for a second half, much like the first one. Be excited to see what happens.
5-4 Ohio Horde, short timeout, second half is coming up. Todd Bell, Jonathan Schroeder with you here, Resolute Athletic Complex in Columbus. Second half ready to go. 4-3 or 5-4. Ohio Horde with the lead right now. As Zach Blackwell, a pair of goals for Ohio Horde. 4 different goal scorers right now for Resolute. Physical game, a little bit, I wouldn't call it sloppy, just not quite the flow we had in our first game tonight. Nonetheless, 1-goal game. We'll take it here at halftime.
Absolutely. I think goals have been a little bit messier to come by in this game. A lot of them off of some messed up dodges or just kind of fired shots late in the shot clock. I think if one team wants to come out ahead, they're going to need to clean it up, get some better looks, and get comfortable with the physicality of this game, comfortable scoring while moving the ball.
Vandenberg, Jasinski, Markwood, and Nickel, the goals for Resolute in the first half tonight. This is Jablonski out on the far side. Jasinski now will try and fire it to Brooks. And they couldn't get connected up. Ohio Horde will have the possession and they're first here in the third quarter. And Devin Halliday will be slowed up. Blackwell a pair, Shaw, Mercer, and Gleason. The goal scorers in the first half for Ohio Horde. Barkheimer feeds it in front. Galko. Scramble. Galko got it back. Check from behind. He lost it. Shot clock winding down. And Resolute's going to end up with a ground ball here, and George Cecil will have it now for Rezo.
Yeah, messy exchange there. I think both teams, you can see their vision, their theory of how they want to play this game is there, but they've been unable to execute. That last offensive possession, Jasinski went to find Brooks. Brooks wasn't even prepared for that pass. So some teams need to realign to make things happen.
Time and space there for Ethan Brooks, but he ends up hitting the crossbar, and it comes all the way back to the other end of the field. Jasinski will win that battle, and now they've got a little bit of an advantage here, and a shot at a score. Jasinski able to sneak that one past, and that will tie the game at 5.
A little cheap shot and some chippiness ensues. Number 9 from the Horde there. Gabriel Gutierrez gets tapped on the head by Jasinski. Despite Jasinski being the smaller fella, I think he said, hey, too small for me. I'm able to step up and shoot right in your face. And then you had number 1, Brooks, hitting him after the play. So we'll see if that develops a little story for us to watch.
I mean, so many of these players know each other.
Yes.
Some are teammates, some were teammates, whether it was high school or college. And sometimes it's tough to decipher if it's playful chippiness or real chippiness.
Absolutely. I think the nature of the series, there's not any long-standing rivalries or people that necessarily are filled with hate in any way. So most of the time I'm imagining it's just kind of the physicality, just playing and having fun. doing a sport you like, and the opportunity too. There's a lot more padding in this game, so sometimes throwing those shots with a smile on your face or taking them is just the way you enjoy the game.
You wonder sometimes, maybe this isn't payback from something 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
maybe no long lines of hatred in this series, but maybe from something in the past, for sure.
You never know. There's teams here from Division 1, 2, and 3, so there could have been a matchup a long time ago where someone did something.
And now we've got whistles. We had a shot clock violation. And we've got a penalty that's going to go against Resolute. So Ohio Horde's going to go a man up here with under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
May have been tripping. Not sure exactly what the call was again. But good man up opportunity. Shaw kind of being the floor general here for the Horde, keeping the ball, facilitating it. Their spacing is superb. Love to see them get some good cuts out of it.
We've had one man-up goal scored so far tonight. That was by Resolute. That one a save made by Allen.
Just not the look you want. Take your time, move the ball around, see what can happen.
Behind the play, we've got players that are swinging sticks and fists and carrying into the bench while the door was open.
So I think initially we said this could be friendly, but I think quickly we just found our answer.
Wow.
To the nature of this game and the physicality. It is no longer friendly. We have fisticuffs, we have pugilists, we have people involved who are not so friendly anymore.
Still on the man up, shot for the Horde by Skylar Wolland, and that'll be a violation. And now Resolute will end up with the possession here. 5:45 to play in the third. The team in red, Resolute, will transition its players on and off the field as Jasinski will have it out near midfield.
And maybe something to speak to the physicality of this game. Anytime a Horde player is matched up against a Resolute player, they're seeing red perpetually. Of course, that's their jerseys, but could be something attributed to that.
Lopez, a great initial save. It was Morgan Morrill with the rebound opportunity. And now with 5:15 to go, it'll be Ohio Horde coming back the other way. And I thought the penalty was released. Rezo tried to run a fifth out there. Then they realized, nope, can't do that. So they run back off. Still 5-on-4 for the moment. Now a feed down low. Now picked up by Ohio Horde. Shot from out on the wing, and a goal, a blistering shot prior to the shot clock going off by Aiden Sexton.
Yeah, time and room like that for a player who's a confident shooter is going to translate to a goal very quickly. Still a scuffed up possession there for the Horde. I'd love to see them move that ball across those top 3 or 4 players and get that defense in a position where they're very exposed. Few teams have been able to do that in this series so far. I think the one that does in man up is going to find a lot of quick goals.
Will Jordan will win the face-off.
You can see taking a more conservative approach. Didn't go towards the goal there. Ran away and passed it off. No doubt has a little bit of trauma from those previous interactions.
Shot saved by Lopez. Andy now with the long outlet feed here to JP Mercer. 1-on-2. And so he will just back things off, hands it off now to Galco. Game all knotted up at 5 a moment ago. The goal on the man up by Sexton, making it now a 6-5 advantage for the Horde. They once trailed this game 2-0.
Yeah, another close one developing here. Sexton again with this ball, wants to shoot it outside.
That one goes high, hits the back of the netting, and will be picked up out of there by Resolute.
So here's some communication offensively from the Resolute team. It's nice to see that. It's nice to hear that. You sometimes don't know what players are thinking.
Morrill gets clobbered in front, shakes his head as he gets back up.
In the olden times, they'd tell you to rub dirt on it after that type of hit.
It's rubber pellets now.
Yeah, or they'd say, hey, he just got his bell rung. But we all know that was a difficult one there. He's holding his helmet now, so hopefully he can make a quick recovery there, but he got sandwiched.
Under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Low shot by Barkheimer. Easy save made by Allen. And Resolute will bring it back the other way, trailing 6-5, 2:37 to play.
And You'll see Barkheimer there opting for a speed shot, just a power over placement. But when the keeper is directly in line with you, when they're prepared like that, you need to opt for placement. You haven't got him to shift planes. It's an easy save most of the time.
Now Owen McGee bounced around, got to get something off in a hurry, and did not. Shot clock violation.
A little disappointed by McGee there. I mean, even a turn and a shot could yield something. Box Lacrosse got to go for it.
Great move, and in a ton of traffic, Dominic Shaw powers his way to a goal.
Fantastic footwork there. You can see he really shortens his stride to be able to dance through players, protects his stick well by shifting it across his body multiple times, goes for the dive as he's known to do, and capitalizes for a big energy goal.
7 of the last 10 in this game scored by Ohio Horde. Shaw with his second. And Will Jordan will win another face-off. And now Resolute will have the offensive possession under 1:30 left in the third quarter.
It's time for them to shut off the flow of this Horde team. Change the nature of this game by getting a goal for themselves.
Vandenberg gives it up down low, in front. And again, another save by Andy Lopez, able to smother it in the circle. And now we'll give it up. And Ohio Horde will have it with almost a minute to play now in the third.
This game has gone by quick in this second half. I think these possessions have been a little bit longer. So sometimes we're not paying attention to the game clock as much as we are the shot clock.
Which is winding down again. That feed caught from in behind. Now that shot goes wide by Sexton. It'll be a loose ball, shot clock violation. Resolute will have it. 35 seconds to go now here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Resolute should definitely opt for the last possession of the game here. Again, you mentioned it, their offensive capabilities recently have been a little slow. They need to get a good look, get comfortable playing back on the offensive side of things in a settled possession.
18 seconds. Jasinski out on top, feeds it to X. And a crease violation from in behind. Time winding down, 7 seconds. Ohio Horde trying to get one last opportunity. Ball is all tied up here along the glass, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of action. 7-5, Ohio Horde will have the lead. They extend their 1-goal lead at the break to 2. Fourth quarter coming up next from Resolute Athletic Complex. Fourth quarter coming up. Ohio Horde trying to remain a perfect 3-0. Resolute trying to make 3 teams 2-1, but they're going to have to come from behind and do so. The only goal by Resolute here in the second half, Jasinski scored with 8.5 minutes to go. So they're on a little bit of a scoring drought. The last 2 goals by Ohio Horde coming in the last 4:45. And Jonathan, here we go. Another tight one, 2-goal game heading to the fourth.
Yeah, 2-goal deficit in box lacrosse is not something to be too concerned about. And even though Resolute hasn't scored recently, these games have been close. So I'll be curious to see what happens in this final stage of the game.
Will Jordan, who's had a good game in the face-off X, will win it. He'll fire, and that one will go out of bounds. It did not go off of the keeper Lopez, so it'll be Ohio Power with possession their first of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no one there to check Jordan that time, so he figures he'll have a go. Fortunately, no shot backup. in box lacrosse, so it'll be the Horde possession. I keep wanting to call them the Monsters.
Why is that?
I think Horde, I think of like, you know, like the green, they look like monsters. I think that's just like, especially I think of like NBA Space Jam. I think the Monstars.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I have to keep correcting myself before I speak.
Well, you've elevated them from game 1 last week from what you, I think, called baby food green to now thinking of them as monsters.
Yeah, I mean, their physicality speaks to that. The Horde swarming the ball, laying big hits, but yeah, monstery for sure.
Brooks with a timely pickup of a rebound off the backboard on the shot by Jasinski. Now Nickel fires low, and it bounces off of the keeper Lopez and goes in. We haven't seen the keepers go down all the way to the ground like that one, and it ended up backfiring on Lopez.
Yeah, that was surprising there. Still twixt the wickets, as they say. Nichols has been an outside shooter. He's confident there. Good way to catch the goalie off guard there is to shoot out of that rotation. So he does a little spin move there, rolls back, and instead of setting up for a shot, just snaps right to it. So the keeper doesn't have as much time to react.
Blackwell and Shaw for Ohio Horde. Now Nickel for Resolute, all with 2 goals in this game. And as we approach 8:15 to play in the 4th, it's back to a 1-goal game, and Resolute trailing has possession.
It's nice to have an outside shooter get hot. It just changes where you can be a threat offensively.
Good read on that one for Lopez on the shot by Jasinski, going low to his right to make the save. Along the glass of the near side, they battle for this ground ball. Under 8 minutes to go now in the game. Ohio Horde will pop out of there with possession.
Surprised there wasn't a violation there on time. It looks like they were running out or getting pretty close to clear it across that half.
Eli Harless along the glass here on the near side. Now Gleason just smothered there by terrific defense by Owen McGee. And then a bounce shot try by Woolen will go out of bounds. And the possession will head over.
Yeah, anytime.
To Resolute, go ahead.
Anytime you're going to cross and go across your face like that with the stick, it's inviting that defensive player to do a strong cross check and jam it right in the middle of that interaction.
Jablonski finds some space and scores for Resolute to tie the game. First of the game for Michael Jablonski.
Shifting and dancing, getting to the middle of the field, all classic ways to increase your scoring angle. A good bounce. He was excited about that one. You can see kind of a war cry after the score there. But a 7-7 game. Boy, today's been the closest it's been so far in this series.
Remember, we were 7-7 at the end of regulation last game before it was won in overtime by Overpower. That shot by Jasinski goes wide. Brooks picks it up, fires wide. And then finally, it is Ohio Horde gathering it and quickly ahead now to Shaw. He'll work against 2 defenders from Resolute. Now a little tic-tac-toe action and a goal. J.P. Mercer will give the lead back to Ohio Horde.
Mercer once again in the right place, the right time. Barkheimer, I thought was going to go for goal there, but his patience, he slowed it up. He kept the spacing in the defense so he could make that pass. And Mercer collects easily with that goal. A very, very, very good and professional looking play to a transition there. Now note again, this away box, you're going to have an offensive advantage because you're coming out into transition on the offensive half of the field. 6
of the 8 goals for Ohio Horde tonight scored by 3 different players in Blackwell, Shaw, and now Mercer joins them with 2 goals tonight. Feed in behind. Surveying, coming out on top. That got deflected. Will they be able to save it? And will. Brooks just scooped it up into the air. Tommy Janowitz finally able to pick it up. One arm pass forward. Now St. Clair with some room. His low shot saved by Lopez.
A lot of players in this Resolute team now opting for sort of a low bouncer, keeping it low, firing it low. They've had a couple go in on Lopez like that, so they may be looking to keep that up.
Wow.
Good save on the shot by Harless. Now that one gloved down by Allen and able to keep it from going in, and they're able to pick it up and in transition. Bobbled here by Simeone. Now we'll take it into the offensive end. Under 5 minutes to play in regulation, 1-goal game.
Yeah, Resolute, a team that was slower in their first interaction, got some good settled offense.
Boy, Brooks with a terrific first step. His low shot again is saved there by Lopez. And you're right, it is noticeable that they're trying to go low here on Lopez, maybe trying to get some kind of a book on him after now almost 3 games.
Absolutely, it's been something that has been the trend for this team. I'd love to see him use those top corners though and use the pipes anywhere, low or high, as opposed to these sweeping low angle shots. Sometimes changing that plane is the best way to do it.
We had a push by Resolute, and so the ball will head back over to Ohio Horde. Working our way to 4 minutes to go in the game. 8-7 Ohio Horde. Boy, a 2-goal lead here would be huge for them. Blackwell, the feed out in front. That shot goes wide by Barkheimer. Barkheimer got buried after the play, and finally Resolute comes away with it. Now a loose ball in front. Bodies are still just crashing off of each other, and Resolute will come in transition. Jewel Walker feeds it ahead. Jasinski back to Walker. Couple of fakes, shoots. Did he score? He did not. It appears to be saved by Lopez. Holds it in his hand and puts it into the stick of Galko, and they come back the other way. Now a leak out in front. Shot, score! Eli Harless. What action on both ends of the field.
Lopez holding that ball like he stole it in Indiana Jones. It's the idol there shaking. Golden in his hand. A huge, huge, huge play from him. And then to look the other way. Resolute now a little bit in arms. You can see the timeout being called. Fantastic work from him. The defense there doing everything they could. Exciting work for the Horde. They've been a high-energy team, probably the most in this series, and I think it's paid off over time as they've had their ups and downs.
Joel Walker had that point-blank shot. He raised his hands in the air like he thought he had scored, and then as you eloquently noted, Lopez says, nope, I've got it. And while Resolute might have dropped their head for just the split second, it was Galko with a great outlet pass ahead to Harless, and he wasn't going to miss.
Yeah, well, that offensive player may have had his hands in the air to celebrate. The refs surely didn't, indicating a goal. So good heads-up vision there from the Horde.
So Resolute will take its second half timeout now. Still plenty of time, but again, these games, they've been lower scoring. Certainly they can score 2 goals, but Jonathan, they've only scored back-to-back goals once in this game. It was the first 2 goals of the game, all the way back in the first quarter. So we've seen Ohio Horde do a terrific job defensively tonight, not allowing them to string goals together.
Yeah, offensively, the consistency from both teams has been a bit of an oddity. So I think we feel that goal, how big the energy from the Horde was when they put it in. They know that goals matter more here, and Resolute knows that it's been tough for them offensively to put things together.
Will Jordan's had a good night in the face-off X, and Resolute needs him to win one here. He is squared off here, I believe, against Eli Hart. Nope, beg your pardon. That'll be Logan Spaeth. And it ends up squirting its way right back to Cade Galko, who will pinball his way into the offensive end here for the Horde.
Yeah, if you want to protect your stick and you don't know how, take a look at how Galko just did that. Put the lower end of the shaft between his legs and started rolling around to escape. He knew eventually he'd find his way out of there.
Big possession in this game. Blackwell stutter step, shoots wide. That'll carry him all the way back out towards midfield. That'll be gathered there by Barkheimer. Barkheimer, that shot will carry him off the post on the shot by Mercer. And now a reset of the shot clock here, so the Horde can take time almost down to the 2:30 mark.
Now you can see, note, they got a cherry picker here. Resolute.
Right now, the time more valuable for the Horde to run off the clock here. It's 4-on-4 on this end. Mercer gets a step, fires one, another great save, but another reset. Now Blackwell, he'll fire it across. Not a great pass and a turnover, but a great check there by Barkheimer. Keeps the play alive, and it will roll out now to Blackwell. And the Ohio Horde now just continuing to run time off the clock. Barkheimer will fire it across, and we've got whistles and what?
Got Blackwell and Cecil there being pretty physical off ball. I think a slash call will be put on both of them. Definitely need to cool off a little bit after that. You can see crazy thing is, in these interactions, these exchanges, and these possessions, Resolute playing some good defense. No shots have gone without contact, but the Horde picking up nearly every single one of the rebounds and really drawing out the clock. It's now sub 2 minutes.
Well, it's going to result in a face-off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. I'm trying to do math here. Is it 5 on 4?
It is. Looks like we have Cecil in the box for Resolute. Some extra out of whistle.
No, it's 5 on 5. I got everybody counted up.
It's even. There's 2 guys in the box for each. You got Blackwell and Cecil.
Jiving in, shot, that goes wide. Dangerously, Karam's back in front of the net and wisely covered up by Allen. 1:40 to go, Resolute down 2, they need a goal.
Yeah, this possession, key for them right now.
Jasinski will be double teamed and knocked to the ground, but keeps his balance and the ball. Now Vandenberg over here on the near side. Right now, Resolute needs a good look. Ethan Brooks, Vandenberg over the top shot, and a nice save again by Lopez. Now Lopez will just fire it ahead in front of the Resolute bench. It'll be picked up there by Clark, and he'll carry it into their end. Closing in on a minute to go and a 2-goal lead right now for the Horde, and Jonathan Resolute now has got to double team the ball.
Yeah, it's dire circumstances for them. Horde doing a good job of running out the clock late in this game. They got to change something.
And a shot here, that'll again go wide, bounces all the way back out in front. Vandenberg thought he had it, and it turns into a violation. 45 seconds to go. The restart now for Resolute, trailing by 2. Now they absolutely have to have a goal. Jasinski draws the slide, works his way towards the net, crashes in, shoots off the post. Karam's down towards the corner. This is going to be a long battle for this ground ball here, but it's rolling back in front, picked up by Ohio Horde, and they'll call timeout. Quincy Kramer had the ball roll right to him out in front, and with just 23 seconds to go and a 2-goal advantage, Ohio Horde will have the ball.
Yeah, this game has been a really scrappy one, and that's going to play into the favor of the Horde. They haven't had a game where they look like the stellar team out there, where they look like a team that's stringing all their passes together, where they're operating in perfection and really well as a unit. It's really been their physicality, it's really been their determination that's really carried them through a lot of these games. They just score difficult goals and they play strong defense. It's paid off well for them.
So for Rezo, probably pulling the keeper here, Allen, right, you would think?
Absolutely.
Gonna go with an extra defender. Again, they're in a bad spot, but if there's any good news for Resolute, the ball is all the way in the other end of the field, so pulling the goalie is okay here for them. And if they do get a takeaway, they'll be right in front of the goal, but they have got to get the ball back and score quickly with only 23 seconds to go and trailing by 2.
Yeah, this is Box Lacrosse's version of a 10-man ride. Again, no goalie in net. Let's see sort of a coast-to-coast action from Lopez, see if he can try and just fire it in there. But every player now marked up for this Horde team.
Well, they lost it for the moment. Now a quick fire down towards the goal, and it goes in! A nearly 200-foot shot for Dominic Shaw to ice the game.
Yeah, Shaw has now become our true long-distance scorer, putting it nearly back from near his goal, and that will ice the game for certain. 5
goals in the back-to-back nights after having a huge game 1 last week for Ohio Horde. And now with 17 seconds to go, Ohio Horde is going to advance its record to 3-0. And they will take the face-off, and Galco's just going to try and run this out. Rezo's not going to quit. They'll double team him down there, but now they'll just lay off of him and wisely do so. And Ohio Horde, with a hard-fought win, had to come from behind down 2 early in this game. They led 5-4 at half, 7-5 after 3. And Jonathan, after the game, was tied at 7 with 7 minutes to go. They score the final 3 goals, and Andy Lopez doesn't allow a goal in the last 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Horde really never looked back on this one. I think when you talk about a team that can make it to the championship game and play through varying levels of adversity and change in pace of the game, the Horde team is really shaping up to be the guys to beat. That does make sense. They are 3-0.
Boy, what a fun night of lacrosse. Back-to-back nights with electrifying play. Each game seems to get better and better as these teams are just finally getting accustomed to each other. And as soon as they've got it figured out, we've only got next Tuesday night left and then the championship game a week from tonight.
Yeah, nonetheless, it should be fun to see. I mean, we've talked about this. The biggest deficit we've seen in one of these games is 4 goals. And that's just a testament to the skill of these players, how quickly they've been able to form bonds with their teammates, and the goalie play as well.
Yeah. So the two teams exchanging handshakes. Final score in this one, Ohio Horde 10 and Resolute 7. That'll wrap up our coverage tonight of the Ohio Box Lacrosse Series. Stay with us. We'll be back with you next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock from Resolute Athletic Complex here in Columbus for the final night of a doubleheader, and then we'll wrap up this series next Wednesday night with our championship game. For my partner tonight, Jonathan Schroeder, this is Todd Bell saying so long tonight from Columbus.